Hey, Facebook.
Awesome.
Monday.
Fantastic.
Makeup. Mike's not doing his makeup.
No.
All right. So Ricky has company. Three's company.
I do have company.
So she has a dinner reservation this evening.
I do.
So we have to get her out the door. So we're going to do 2 quick shows for Wednesday and Friday, 30 minutes each. So be ready because we're going to be rocking these questions. And then we're talking about segmenting a Disney day for Friday. So that's going to be kind of fun. I got that.
Yes, it's going to be fun. All right. We're going to have a fun day. It's going to be exciting. I don't know what else to say about that. So
hey, Megan. All right, let's get going.
We are going to get going.
I'm not even trying Megan's last name. Not
that's probably smart.
Donna. Your mom's in the chat.
I see that. Hi, Mama.
Mandy, there's Bobby. We're taking attendance.
We are.
Stars
it's always good.
Here. That's right. It's first day of school.
Happy Wednesday and a Monday.
Eric's here. Gold star. Joe Leslie.
Oh, no.
Joe's going to the varsity with you. He's going out to eat with you guys tonight.
Not at the varsity. I wouldn't be caught dead at the varsity. I hate that place. It's so overrated.
You get kicked out of Atlanta.
I know. It's so overrated.
Got my pinnacles. Boom, George.
Nice.
All right, we got rock because she's got to go. We can't mess around like we usually do.
I got to eat dinner. I'm sorry.
$13.60, and I got Taco Bell to eat on my gift. I think I got $4 left on my gift card. Running low.
Good for you. Don't.
I love it. Anyway. Okay, let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's have fun.
Okay, 1368. Here we go.
Yay.
Welcome to episode 1368 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing well. We are here again answering your listener questions. Pam, I said she'd be back today. I kind of promised that last week. Unfortunately, she's on vacation again. I mean, I guess it's great for Pam, but we will have her back. I promise right away. I'm going to make sure she gets back. She wanted to actually record a show. It just didn't work out with my schedule. So we got so much to talk about. She's been on so many trips. She's been to Budapest. She's been on Adventures by Disney River Cruise. It's amazing. She wants to talk. So we're going to get this all together here very shortly. But don't forget, we're going to all be in Indianapolis, Indiana on Saturday, August 25th. So if you want to see the crew, rumor has it we'll all three be there.
We will.
I know we're all going to be there. I know that. Wow. So we can't wait to see you out there in Noblesville, Indiana, Saturday, August 25th, raising money for Give Kids World, noon to 7 at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds. Be there or be square. But today we've got listener questions to answer. Ricky's got dinners to eat. So let's get to it. Joining us from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and most importantly, the Mouse for Less, we have Ricky. Happy Wednesday. Ricky, what's up?
Happy Wednesday. Yes. I somehow have plans. Who knew? But usually I just sit at home. But yeah, plans. So no, it's a great Wednesday, and I am excited to answer your listener questions. So let's get to the fun.
Let's get at it. Okay, Susan's got the first question. She's up in Windham, New Hampshire. We tease this one in the ad read at the top of the show. She says, Mike, Ricky, and Pam, I'm really enjoying your podcast and learning a lot leading up to my September 2nd through 9th trip. We're a family of 6, me, my husband, our son, daughter, son-in-law, and almost 5-year-old grandson, staying off property and renting a car. We're going to the Magic Kingdom on Monday the 3rd, and since the park closes early for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Oh, by the way, happy Halloween. It's that time.
We're almost there. We have on Friday. That will be Halloween. Yes.
I gotta get the pumpkin out. Anyway, because we made a 6:15 hoop-de-doo dinner reservation on the night that the Magic Kingdom closes for the Halloween party. She says getting to Fort Wilderness will be easy enough, but I'm really trying to figure out the best way to get back to the TTC afterwards. Should we take a boat back to the Magic Kingdom and then another boat or the monorail back to the TTC? Would a launch to the Contemporary then the monorail be quicker, or a bus to the TTC? Thanks in advance for your help, Sue up in New Hampshire. So what would you do after Hoop-de-Doo?
Okay.
Back to the TTC. I'd probably take a boat to the Contemporary monorail over. But you know what? Here's the thing. Why get in a rush? Make it an adventure. I take the long ride sometimes with situations like this.
Yeah, I think the fastest, if you didn't want to do like a minivan or something like that, that would be the boat to the Contemporary monorail to the TTC, because that will be the next stop on the from the Contemporary to the TTC. So that would be what I would do.
That's your most efficient way, but again, take the road less traveled. Ride 7 boats, 3 monorails, and throw in a train if you can find one. Who knows?
Right.
Golf cart somewhere in there because you're at Fort Wilderness. I don't know, but have fun. I'd go to the Contemporary, ride a monorail. All right, Kim's up next. Hey, Mike, Ricky, and Pam. The question is about Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend, which is coming up real quick.
It is, man. Yeah.
I discovered your podcast several months ago and love listening. I'm learning tons. I grew up going to Disneyland and have participated in the Tinkerbell Half Marathon twice, but this is a whole new ball game.
Yes, it is.
I'm heading down to Walt. It's a whole new 13.1.
That's right.
I'm heading down to Walt Disney World for the very first time in November. Ooh, it's going to be fun. It's a busy weekend, boy. You're going to get this is what I call thrown into the fire.
Yes.
I am going with my husband, 12-year-old twins, and mother and brother, my 7-year-old niece, and my best friend and her husband. Okay, she's taking
a lot of people. Yes, you're taking an army. I love it. Yes,
you're taking a bus. We'll be staying at Riverside. 4 of us adults will be participating in the challenge. My twins in the 10K and my niece in a kids dash. I have a couple of questions on transportation.
I would say so.
Here we go. On Thursday, we have a 1020 ADR be our guest for breakfast. Assuming we stick to Disney transportation, what's the easiest, best way to get to ESPN to pick up our race packets? If we decide to do Uber or Lyft, where would we go to pick that up? Finally, what about a minivan? Can we take that from the Magic Kingdom to ESPN? Okay, first of all, yes, you can take a minivan. I have been in this exact same situation many times, going from the Magic Kingdom over to pick up my packet on at the expo. And I just seriously just walk over to the Contemporary and catch an Uber. That's what I do. Ricky, what do you say?
Well, I think that's good. Uber, minivan. Yeah, I think that's the best way. Any of the resorts, though, will have a bus that you can take. They should have a bus that you can take. So if you're at the resort, you'll be able to hop. You can be able to hop on a bus. And
again, because you're walking over to the Contemporary, you could just catch a bus from the Contemporary to the expo and you're set.
Right.
You don't have any money.
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. Yes.
But a lot of times I'll just take the Uber just because it shaves a little time.
Yeah, a little bit.
It just depends. Are there buses on Saturday to get to ESPN for the Kids Dash from Riverside? Yes, correct. There are. And finally, is it correct that the kids do not have to be present to pick up their race packets? I'm sure they would much prefer to stay in the park with grandma. Thanks for your help. Kim is in Happy Valley. Thought it was Pennsylvania, but it's Oregon.
Oh.
West Coast. And it makes sense because she's a Disneyland person.
It does.
Yes, the kids do not have to be present to get their bibs. Just somebody that's in charge of the kid.
Just somebody. That's
right. All right. Next title is called Question from the Crazy Lady.
Uh-oh. Is it my mom? I'm just kidding. I love you, Mom. I love you. I know she's here. I hope she'd laugh at that joke.
That was brave. And Aaron,
I love you, Mom. I'm sorry.
Eric's asking in the chat, how does the price compare from a minivan to just a plain old Uber or Lyft? I would say at least twice as much, sometimes 3 times more. So you're paying for the Disney brand there.
Well, the minivan is a set price of $25 each way. So just keep that in mind. Uber, probably, about 10 to 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right.
I told you she'd laugh. Ha ha. Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe it was sarcastic. I don't know.
Kate says, hello, Mike, Ricky, and Pam. I guess Kate is the crazy lady. We'll have to see. She says, help, please. I have become Disney obsessed with planning a trip for my family of 4 to Walt Disney World in January of 2020.
Woohoo!
I can't even get through 2018, and she's thinking about 2020. You're killing me, Kate. Most of my friends think I'm crazy for planning now.
Nope.
No comment.
I'm not going to call you crazy for it. That's for sure.
My kids will be 8 and 5 then. We wanted to wait until my youngest is tall enough to enjoy most rides. I know you can book your rooms 499 days in advance, which is in a few weeks, but prices for 2020 haven't been released yet. Do you know when they might do that? Okay, so here's how this works. I got bad news for Kate. She's not going to be able to do what she's thinking. You can book 499 days in advance within that year. So, for example, when the 2019 packages were released, what was that, about a month ago?
Yeah, roughly.
I'm catching up. I'm finally catching up. You could book
maybe 2.
Yeah, you could book 499 days into the 2019 season. So what happened was I had folks when 2019 became available, they wanted to book, obviously. Yeah, I don't know why, but like November and December of 2019.
Right. No idea.
That was because of something called Star Wars.
Right.
Initially,
I think they may need the December dates, though. Just saying. Yeah.
But Galaxy's Edge. But what happened was you could not price out those rooms that were way at the end of 2019 when they released the 2019 dates because they were more than 499 dates from the date that they opened the packages and the pricing. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to wait until the 2020 dates are released and then jump on that right away. I believe that's how it is. I know that's how it was with 2019. They could be doing it different, but that's how it was. So let's get back to her question. So that is something that may cause a wrinkle there. Let's see here. So she says, we're considering Pop Century or Caribbean Beach Resort. Which would you recommend for a week-long trip when it could be too cold to use the pools? Do you think Caribbean Beach will be more expensive then, since the renovations will be done and it will most likely have the gondolas? We're planning to go the week of Martin Luther King, which looks like it's usually pretty slow after Martin Luther King Day. But do you think the parks will be packed since Galaxy's Edge will have just opened potentially a few weeks prior? Thanks for your help making my drive to work so much better and enabling my planning obsession. Kate's in Saratoga Springs, not the resort. She's in the resort. That's right. All right. So let's get Caribbean Beach is going to be more expensive, correct? Do you think? We're just guessing. Yes.
I would say so.
Cheaper.
No.
And the thing I'm thinking is a lot of folks are getting right now you can get kind of a crazy good deal because of the construction at Caribbean Beach. So I think it's going to be kind of shocking, not only when they go back to regular pricing in the moderate category. I think it's going to be on the top tier, like a Coronado Springs is right now. A little bit, you can get good deals at Coronado because of construction right now, which doesn't affect too much. But I think it is going to be more expensive. Which would you pick, Pop or Caribbean Beach, for a week-long trip in January when you may not? And you remember the pools are all heated, but it's cold when you get out. The air's not heated.
Right.
Many times.
Oh man, that's tough. I guess it will. I think for me, it would depend to see how much the price is going to increase for Caribbean Beach. Also, it will depend on how nice Caribbean Beach looks when it's done. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but there's still a lot up in the air of the overall encompassing resort and what it's going to be like. So, I think I might be leaning towards Caribbean Beach unless the prices are just really, really, really high. But remember, there is the separate bus line inside Caribbean Beach, so you would have to take that to get to the front in order then to be able to go to the parks. Whereas at Pop Century, there's only one bus that you have to catch. So that's a nice little perk of staying at Pop Century too.
And Pop Century does have the gondolas.
Well, that's true, and they probably will be open by that point. Oh, they both will. Yeah, that's true.
Eric says we need to keep pronouncing the gondolas like you say, Ricolas. Oh my God, I just did it once. Yes. So that's something to think about. Caribbean Beach is obviously, it's just going to be nicer than Pop Century. Pop Century is a value. Right. The pools are going to have slides. You're going to have a new restaurant. It's Sebastian's, right? Or what? It's
Sebastian's.
It's called. It's for a character.
Is it Sebastian's now? I don't know.
I think it is. I heard that this week.
I've lost track of everything.
Little girls, what are we going to do with them? They do not listen when he's talking.
Oh, yes. Okay. I didn't know what you were talking about.
I can relate to Sebastian. Oh, sure. They will never listen. No seeking.
That's a very bad Caribbean accent, by the way. Please don't do that anymore. Just stop. Stop right now.
Sweet. So there you go.
Stop.
Real quick comment from Ray in the chat. It says subscribe to one of your sponsors, touringplans.com, on Friday.
Nice. Ding. Yes.
Still there. Added a reservation request for California Grill shortly after subscribing, as it has been booked solid for the past 2 months for my September trip. Was able to secure an ADR for a 6 p.m. reservation because of their service, worth every penny. Love to hear that.
Love hearing that. That's right.
Kate's in the chat. Be careful. You're not crazy, Kate. You're cool.
No.
All right, since you're in the chat. Okay, so next question's from Laura. We're knocking them down here. Hi, Mike, Ricky, and Pam. We're traveling from the UK in November and have 2 weeks at Animal Kingdom Lodge booked to try to continue our mission of ticking off hotels on the list. We have added 3 nights and are staying 1 night each at, let's see, that would be CR, would be the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian, and Wilderness Lodge. Unfortunately, not the Polynesian, as we did that last year. We're booking a table service restaurant for each of the nights and have currently picked the Wave, Narcoossee's, and wanted to book Artist Point, but it won't let us book. Guest Services has said something is happening and they don't have any more information. Any idea on what's happening at Artist Point in November? Thanks for your help, as always, Laura. Do you have any scoop on that? You're the scoop. You got your press hat on?
I have heard a few rumors as far as things go for Artist Point. Not entirely sure what's true. I have heard the restaurant. The thing that I think is The most valid is that the restaurant is likely getting a refurbishment. That's the thing that I've heard the most. I've heard that it could be changing over to a character meal. Don't know how much I believe that one yet, but definitely seems like there's something happening at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge as far as the restaurant goes, and whether it's a refurbishment or a complete changeover of menu ideology or whatever for that restaurant, I think we'll find out sooner rather than later. But that's kind of a bummer if it does change to a character meal, because I know that a lot of people liked, Artist Point the way it was, with the fact that I know she loved it. That mushroom soup was her favorite thing, and I know a lot of other people really enjoy the menu there. And the fact that it's a signature meal, so it's a 2 table service credit meal. That it's nice to have that over at Wilderness Lodge too. So I don't know. I'm sure if they change over to a character meal, it will be exceedingly popular. I don't love the idea. I think that the resort needs a I don't think it needs a character meal. I think that they've got enough fun at Whispering Canyon, although there's all the stuff that happened there, but it seems like everything's fine. I just want to put that out there.
The ketchup.
Yes, it still seems like everything's fine. But yeah, I think that they should continue having an upscale dining experience at Wilderness Lodge. So, and if they take it away as a character meal, it's not going to be. I don't feel like it's going to be upscale. So.
And it's ideology for restaurants now. I didn't know that. I thought that was just religion.
I don't know. I was just going with it. I went with it. Shut up.
I love it.
I was just going with it. It's
Ohana's on that meat ideology.
Yes, exactly. I was just going with it. Hush.
All right, let's get to the chat. You guys are awesome. You're here. Let's see. We got TJ McNichols. Hey guys, hope you're having a magical day. Of course I am. My girlfriend and I are going down to the world in December for a long weekend trip, and she surprised me with a birthday gift of the Caring for Giants tour. Any tips or advice for this tour? We're both looking forward to this tour. Thank you so much. I've never done this one. I would say my advice is don't be have pachydermophobia. Look at that big word I just threw in. That's as good as your ideology. What would you say?
I have heard that is an excellent tour. It's actually one that I considered for my birthday weekend, but we did Keys to the Kingdom instead. So, can't beat the Keys to the Kingdom. But yeah, I've heard really excellent things. You get really up close to the elephants. I mean, not like, where you can touch them or, get that close to them, but you do get to see them very up close, all things considered. And I've heard it's a fantastic tour. So I'm actually really jealous of you that you get to take this, and maybe someday I'll get to do it as well. And it's really reasonably priced too. It's like under $40.
Yes, it's a steal.
A complete steal.
I mean, his girlfriend got him this. That's sweet. And she's getting a good deal. So, but yeah, all good deal. All right. Mandy's got a great question. This one's kind of interesting. She says, Mandy Grimm in the chat, this question popped into my head today. Does Disney World have a new mayor since Mayor Weaver passed away? You know what? I was looking for the mayor of Main Street. This is one thing I've done almost every trip for like the last 10 years, like the last decade. Always get my picture with Mayor Weaver. And of course, he did pass away about, I'd say 9 months ago, maybe 6 months ago. It's been a little while.
6 months ago.
Pretty quickly. And I love meeting the mayor of Main Street, but I did not see a mayor of Main Street my entire trip in July. Any word?
I haven't heard anything. No, sorry. I'm not hopeful with that. I don't know if they'll take some time before they, replace him, or if they'll come up with another character idea, or I really don't know, or if they won't replace it at all. I'm not sure.
Mayor. I'm just saying, if they need somebody to fill out the term, I'm your man. I'd love
absolutely.
That's the best gig ever. Like that'd be so great. And Mayor Weaver was just incredible. I love that gentleman because he remembered. I mean, I don't know if he really remembered me. He said he did. So I bought it. Yeah, that's how it is. Of course. All right, Derry Wade's got a question. Hey, new listener, a new lizard too. Lizard up.
Sweet.
Thanks. Awesome. Wondering if you would choose to visit Walt Disney World either the long weekend of January 18 to 21 or the whole first week of April, spring break. Family of 4, kids aged 8 and 11. What would you do? So would you do? Shoot, that's easy for me. The longer, the better, because crowds can be dealt with. You can figure that out with a good touring plan. Get up early. Spring break, you're going to have long park hours. The weather's better in April than January.
Yeah.
No brainer for me. What do you say?
I agree. I think that I would do because January is deceptively busy too. Sometimes with they have Epcot has the new Festival of the Arts, which is cool by the way. But I think that obviously that's to bring in crowds, and I think that it has. And yeah, I mean, I think that either time will end up being busy-ish. So I think that the weather will definitely be better in April though. So April. Yeah.
And he's like our joke writer in the chat. He says, "Does pachydermophobia mean that you can't ride Dumbo?" Yes.
Yes.
Totally.
There you go. There you go.
You're just kind of out of luck there. Kaylee in the chat's got a question. Says, "This is our first year with annual passes. Score. Is it cheaper to keep them up instead of letting them expire, or is it the same price?" So I think what she's asking is, it's the age old question when you get a pass. Do I renew at the renewal discount, or do I let it expire and buy a new one? And Ricky, what's your general rule of thumb on that for folks that are thinking about that?
So personally, I renew, but it does kind of depend. I think if you're not going back for 3 months or so after your pass has expired, then maybe I would look into just buying a new pass. But personally, I end up renewing every year.
I've never renewed. I've had annual passes probably 6-7 times just because I always have a huge gap. Like right now.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, if my pass now expires, I got my new one on New Year's Eve. Yes. For Marathon Weekend last year. So I'll buy a new one. Well, you know what? I'll probably renew this year. Now that
you could, because you're going to be down there.
I'm going solo, so I'm going to renew mine. Yeah. Save
yeah.
And yeah, but most times I take my summer trip. And then I can go back until Marathon Weekend, and usually it expires in the summer. So I'm not going to renew and not use it like the whole fall and early winter.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get to another question in the chat. Caitlin Kramer, hey guys, we're staying at Pop Century in December, and we have always stayed at the Swan or Dolphin, so we're not familiar with the layout at Pop. Do you have any tips for busing? How long does it take to walk to the bus stop, and how long will it take from Pop to get to the parks? Thanks so much. You're going to love Pop. Oop. Sorry, she has a long question there, and it went right over your face. So,
yeah, it's probably a better look. So
deal with Pop and Swan and Dolphin. Pop is so much more fun. Like, I love the location of Swan and Dolphin. It's great because you can walk to the studios really easily. You can walk to Epcot very easily. Pop Century is just awesome, though. You get all the great music. You get all the great. So you're gonna love it. The furthest rooms to walk to the bus stops, Ricky, what'd you say? 10 minutes from the furthest rooms.
From the furthest, 10 to 15 max. But usually I would and that's if you're winding along the pass. I would cut through the parking lot, but that's just me.
In the 90s, I cut the parking lot.
I'll cut through the parking lot. So
yeah. Not a whole lot of theming out there. I just like
but it's a lot faster.
It is. So, and I would say like average time to get to the parks. Pop Century is close to Epcot, and it's close to the studios, probably the closest two parks. I'd say 10 to 15 minutes there. Magic Kingdom 20, Animal Kingdom 15. I'm just guessing. Yeah, there's a little guide in the unofficial guide that tells you. But yeah, 20 minutes or less. Maybe 10 minutes to the studios in Epcot. All right, let's get to another question. Rocking here in the chat. Jacob's got a question. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. What's the best tactic to do it all? We have 3 kids, 4 and under. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Just don't lose them. Costumes. So we're wanting to enjoy the shows, parades, and food. We probably won't stand in line for characters, but we'll throw in some rides. What's the best tactic to get as much in as possible? Mm-hmm. All right, Ricky. So you love the Halloween party. So first of all, trick or treat your hearts out. Every time you come to stop, go through there, load up on the candy because the kids are going to love that. I love that. Maybe it's just I love it, but I think they'll love it. So what else?
Okay. So, and the hard part is that they've got the little ones. And so I don't know if they're going to be staying all night either, which makes it a little more difficult. If they stay all night or have the goal to stay all night, then I would suggest doing the later parade. So you see you do some stuff around the Magic Kingdom when you first get there. Make sure you go down the they probably will instruct you that way, but go down the treat trail that they have when you first enter the park, because they have a bunch of candy. They have all there for you. They'll give you your bag and stuff like that. So make sure you do that. You can do some of the rides to begin with. That's what we did. We did some of the rides that we knew would either have that would have not be available during the party. And then we kind of got in line to think about, okay, what kind of food, specialty food that we wanted to eat. So we got some of that too in that beginning time. And that, because if you have to know that not a lot of restaurants are open during, they have a few like table service restaurants that are open. Don't waste your time on the table service restaurants. I know like people lose their minds about making reservations for during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Don't make reservations for dining. Let me just give you that piece of advice right now. It is a complete waste of time. Do not do it. So pick something quick service to eat. Make sure you eat before the party starts. That way you're going once the party actually starts. So what I usually do is then I will do some rides once the party actually starts. I will then and trick or treat a little bit, but don't, the trick or treating winds down, meaning like less crowds start forming as the night continues to go on. So just keep that in mind as well. Do some dance parties at the beginning of the night. That way you get that kind of thing out of the way because there are no waits for that. And I would also consider then getting in a spot for the fireworks, which are at, oh gosh, I don't remember offhand. I think they're at 10. They're at 10. I know I have the information on the Mouse for Less because I've already updated the Mickey's Not So Scary page on the Mouse for Less. So all the times are correct on there if you are wanting to know what the times are for everything. And then I would wait for the second parade. That's just me. But since because there's not, it's not as busy for the second parade usually. But if you're going to be right there with little ones, you may choose to see the first parade. Just know that you're going to have to get your spot kind of early. So just keep that in mind as well.
And even if you're not, that's perfect. I mean, that is exactly what I'd say. So I'd follow exactly what Ricky just said. And I would say, since your kids are that age, they're going to be in cute costumes, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. Take advantage. I know you don't want to wait for characters, but there's going to be special spots like backdrops. You can just kind of do a flyby, get a picture of your kids. Cause I mean, they're going to be really unique. And
absolutely.
Even if it's not like a designated backdrop. There's just so many cool places to get your picture.
100%. Definitely. And you might want to consider Memory Maker for that night if you can, if you don't have it for the rest of your trip. And you also maybe, if you are a fan of Hocus Pocus, you maybe don't want to miss the show that they have there as well, which is a really good. I thought it was very entertaining, but I like Hocus Pocus.
Never seen it. Is Bette Midler in that? She kind of scares me. I hear from a distance.
Oh my gosh, that's what you come up with. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Sarah's up next. She's got to before we start singing.
No, please stop.
Down here. Sarah's got a question in the chat.
All
Sarah,
right.
Thinking of staying at Art of Animation in a Little Mermaid room in the spring. How's the walk between Pop and Art of Animation for some resort exploration? It's awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's easy peasy. It's actually it's closer than walking like from the ranchos to the casitas at Coronado.
Yeah, it's so easy. Just walk across the bridge and you're there.
I love this one, Carolyn, and she's always in here too. So we're going to answer her question next. We're going to the plaza for the first time in a couple of weeks. What do you recommend?
Well, you just ate there recently, yes.
It was like
I had to leave. I didn't get to eat. Remember, I had to leave, so I had to catch a plane.
So good. It was like barbecue beef on top of a bowl of mac and cheese. So good. Or like brisket or something on top of mac and cheese. So
I hear the meatloaf's good.
Meatloaf's really good. I was in a quandary because they have great, and I'm a meatloaf guy, man. If they have meatloaf, I get meatloaf usually anywhere. But I was like, ooh.
Also, make sure you save room for dessert. You want ice cream. Definitely want ice cream.
But I go to the ice cream. I don't get it there. I just walk over and get the All-American Sundae because I don't know if they have it there.
I don't know. I know they have lots of different things though.
Good desserts though. All right, let's get to the next one. Kelly Gale says, two-part question. We're planning our first ever trip to the world in November of 2019, the 10th to the 22nd. Long trip. That's a Ramen trip there.
That is.
For our honeymoon. Thanksgiving is later in the month in 2019. We're hoping to catch a lull between Veterans Day and the Thanksgiving holiday. Do you speculate Galaxy's Edge will be open at this point? I know it's too early to say for sure, but we're actually hoping it will be after Thanksgiving so we can avoid those crowds as well. Okay, so she has a part two. The part two is for honeymoon. Where would you stay? Because we actually had somebody on the Magic for Less agent group. We have this group where we brainstorm if somebody has a question, like, oh, well, what do you think about this? So one of our agents had a is this romantic question, looking for a romantic restaurant.
And she asked us.
That's right. So what did Ramen pick? I picked.
What did Roland pick? He picked the Mexican restaurant of San Angelo. Yeah, no.
You've got Mexican food and dark light, and a volcano. And it's romantic right there. Jocelyn said I should have picked the Taco Bell and I-4. That would have been my choice, but did not go with that. Anyway, so Ricky, we don't know. What's your best guess?
Best guess? I'm telling you, Disney keeps saying the words late fall. There is a reason for the word late. I can almost guarantee you, as of this moment, that late fall means December. I think you're going to be fine. So, and just as a reminder, winter doesn't start until December 21st. So late fall could be the 19th of December, and that's still considered fall. So just throwing that out there. I just don't want to get people's hopes up and say, yes, it will be open, Thanksgiving week. And then they go Thanksgiving week and then it's not open. So definitely keep in mind that late fall still means the end of December.
When it gets
it's going to be nuts.
Fall, when it gets to the end of fall, they're just going to have, instead of Jedi, they're going to have Imagineers like, you will be finished. Jedi move for those listening on the audio.
If she's hoping to avoid it, I think she's got a good shot at it.
Just like opening a door with the Force.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that's going to work. No.
We'll have all this painting job. We'll have the blacktop down.
I definitely don't think that's how that's going to work.
Okay, so romantic. So if you're looking, I would at least go moderate on a honeymoon. And I would say French Quarter for Coronado Springs is also. I mean, I'm not exactly. I know we are very romantic experts here, romance experts. But I will say, probably French Quarter and Coronado in the moderates.
I was thinking Riverside. So
yeah, because you got the horses clopping around. You got their carriages. It's beautiful at night. Yeah, really, any moderate.
All right.
Animal Kingdom Lodge for the deluxes or Polynesia.
Oh, yeah. Animal Kingdom Lodge is awesome. Or Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, that is too. Yeah, especially that time of year. Tree will be up.
Yes. You want to see the tree? Well, no, the tree doesn't usually go up until after Thanksgiving.
They'll be putting it up right around there though when they leave.
Right when they leave, maybe that week after. It usually goes up after Thanksgiving.
Did you know, this is off topic, but did you know there's somebody that always live tweets the tree going up at Wilderness?
I know who she is.
Is that Kendra?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay.
She usually live tweets it. Yes.
And it's more exciting than you might think. People are thinking, who cares about live tweeting of a tree going up? It's not like the one in my bedroom, it's right. like a big tree. You've seen.
Yes, it's a huge tree. It's really cool. I mean, there are giant lanterns on this tree, like actual lanterns.
You know what that means? It's time for the last question.
It's time for the last question. Okay, good.
Jonah has a question. Hey, Mike, I have a few questions for you. My wife and I got married in December of 2017, and we decided to wait a year for our honeymoon because she does not finish nursing school until December of this year. Congratulations. My family usually goes to Disney in June or July, where it is hotter than smoke, as you would say. And it is. Considering we are going in January, what clothes packing tips do you have? Do I bring sweatshirts or long johns? I'm from Indiana, where it's freezing in the winter and need some advice on what to pack. Secondly, because we're celebrating our honeymoon and first anniversary, are there any keepsakes or events that you would suggest giving a try? Thanks as always. I love the show. Jonah. All right, first of all, yes, in January.
You just see the gamut of everything.
Bring it all. I have worn long. Well, the thing is, I'm always down in January for Marathon Weekend. So there's days that I will go to the theme parks. I'm not running this day with my running tights on under a pair of pants because it is that cold. And there's something about January Florida cold that's like wouldn't you agree, Rick? It's sometimes
you're not expecting it. It is damp.
Weird cold. It's a weird cold.
Yes, it's because you're not expecting it. Yeah. I agree.
Bring sweatshirts. The best thing I think we've learned, Ricky, because we've been down there many, many times for Marathon Weekend, is layers. Layers are awesome. You can take them off as the sun comes out in the afternoon, you feel better.
Make sure, I know this is going to sound silly, bring gloves, bring a scarf, and bring earmuffs. And also, you're going to want to bring hot hands. Make sure you pick up some hot hands before you go on your trip. I promise you that you will love me when it's freezing out and you're wearing gloves and you got a pair of hot hands in your hand. Yes, make sure you pick up plenty of hot hands. I buy new sets every year before I go down for January.
Yes.
Yes.
You could sell those things for like $10.
I could totally make a killing because everybody be like, "You got hot hands. You got hot hands. I will buy them off of you." Yes, that would be the best thing ever.
2 of my 10 fingers when you're sitting there waiting for the fireworks, like it's dark.
Honest to gosh, I don't know why Disney does not sell hot hands. That would be a genius idea. If they sold hot hands in the park, they would make a killing. Hot hands should just sponsor like cold days. If somebody's at Hot Hands, please sponsor just cold days, and that's it. That's all you have to do at Walt Disney World.
You get a hot cocoa and you get a hot hands. You know,
I'm totally in for that. Somebody at Hot Hands and then I will take the money because I gave you the idea. So
it's so weird. I mean, you can take those things like you just put a couple in your pockets that kind of keep your mitts warm. You know, you put them in your shoes if your toes get cold. You know, like in the back of your socks. It's weird, yeah. But that kind of stuff, and a stocking cap is awesome. Yeah. Okay, so real quick, he's asking, what keepsake or event should they do for their honeymoon? I have an idea. Okay. So actually, a friend of mine did this for me for when Brian and I got married. So go to the Christmas store at Disney Springs, pick out an ornament that says "just married," okay, and they will actually write. If you ask, I think you have to pay for it. They will personalize the ornament, so they can put your names on it. They can put the date on it, which is what they did for my friend had actually done for us. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful keepsake. You know, especially because then that will be the first ornament for your tree and all that, and it's just very special. And would this be basic? Let me ask you this, because I'm learning the terms basic and extra and all that. When stuff. You're hanging out with Mallory all the time, I can understand. Yes, yes. I'm a cheer dad now. So would it be basic if they got their picture with like that thing you hold up with the memory maker people, the PhotoPass photographers, like a sign, you know, like if you're watching Happily Ever After now, you got to hold like a little sign that says, "I'm watching Happily Ever After." Or, you know, if it's Halloween, it's Halloween, and you hold a little round circle. I mean, do you get one that says "just married" or honeymoon or something and get that? I don't know that they have those. I'm sure they do. They got to have that. Right? I've never seen that, actually. I've seen the Happily Ever After one. I've seen the, you know, but I have never seen a just married one. Again, Disney, we are giving you ideas. Hot hands, just married signs for the PhotoPass photographers. Giving you ideas. Let's do this. All right. And as George says, that was a hot take. All right, here on Wednesday. All right, anyway, we got to get out of here. So don't forget, today's show brought to you by the great folks over at the Magic, not the Magic for Less, over at Not today. Friday. And you can get great free iOS apps like Theme Park News Disney Edition. Ricky, hit us up real quick, 30 seconds of what we're reading on Theme Park News. I have got some news if you are excited about the Tron roller coaster. Although maybe it's not exciting news because it's going to be some train. I love the train. Is it going to affect it? Yes, I'm sorry to tell you. There's due to the construction of the new Tron roller coaster, there's going to be some interruptions thanks to that construction at the Magic Kingdom. So unfortunately, the Walt Disney World Railroad is going to temporarily take up residence at the Main Street station starting in December. No exact date announced, so December. During this time, you'll be able to get an up-close look at the railroad and take advantage of one-of-a-kind photo opportunities. I'm going to guess they involve a train. You get up front and like, burp, burp. I don't know. In addition, for those of you who enjoy the Tomorrowland Speedway, it will also be closed for part of 2019. Sorry, all three of you that like that ride. As the attractions track is adjusted, just the track is being adjusted. It will reopen as the exact same attraction, minus probably like, you know, a couple feet or something like that, in the summer of 2019. The Tron roller coaster is expected to open in time for the Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary in 2021. All right. That's all I got. Good. All right, so grab these and other great apps for your iOS device. Turn your Apple device into a Disney device right now, virtualmickey.com. Give us a follow on the social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod and at BeOurGuestMike. Follow Ricky at Ricky Nibs. And join the Facebook group. We got a lot of conversation over there. Over 7,500 Disney fans talking Disney all the time. It's facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. And again, check us out August 25th. That's a Saturday out in Noblesville, Indiana at the Indy Disney Meet. We're going to be raising money for Give Kids World and giving away a Walt Disney World vacation. And it's not like we're putting you in like an I-4 and you got to get your own tickets, man. You're getting tickets. You're getting dining. You're staying at a DVC resort, like one of it's ridiculous. Family of 4.
That's
and you just
awesome.
buy a raffle ticket for $20, man. You're in. You're in.
Awesome. I am not.
Ricky
But
cannot.
you are not Mike, but you, the listener.
Pointing to you. Yeah, win that trip for us. It'll make us happy.
Yes.
Anyway, we're gonna get out here.
Us. Oh, I mean, no.
Especially if you're like a single person, you got 3 other people you got to take.
Right? I'm just saying, right here. I'll go with you. I'll have fun. We'll have fun together.
I'll bring my laptop. I can work from Walt Disney World. I can do that now. So anyway, yeah, we'll be back in on Friday. We have a fun topic on Friday. We're going to break down a typical Walt Disney World day and talk about what's important when, and kind of, give some pointers on like, how do you plan out a day, especially for the newbies, but also something to think about for the veteran travelers as well. So come back on Friday for that. So anyway, we hope you have a great Wednesday. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike. Wishing you an awesome Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. All right, that's a good one. All right, so save that one. Hey, Facebook, thanks for all the great questions.
I like Eric's comment or senior pictures at the Mexico Pavilion with hats, which I think is hysterical. Eric, you do not have to see yourself out. That was fantastic. I approve.
Senior Frog.
They want you to do senior pictures. They want other people to do senior pictures just like you.
Yeah, I know. Those are epic. They're going to start doing those on Center Street like I was. I was drunk on an ice cream's All-American that night. So good. Mandy says she's glad that it won't stink because it's Tomorrowland Speedway. One night, that took me, before the first podcast cruise, that almost made me miss the cruise because I got nauseous because it was so hot, and I rode them, and I like sat in the fumes and barfed in Tomorrowland bathrooms. And then I had to get wheeled.
Thanks for sharing. I didn't know about the barfing part.
I almost passed out, and my wife had to wheel me out of the Magic Kingdom in a because we were parked at the Wilderness Lodge because we had.
I remember. I was there for that part.
It was Spring Canyon that night, and I had like a big shake and too much to eat, and so like I couldn't walk. So Pam rolled me out in a wheelchair, and I saw Lou Mangello at the boat dock. He's like, Mike. I'm like, Lou. He's like, I'm not even gonna ask. I'm like, good idea, because I got to go on a cruise tomorrow. I hope. Of course, the crew's like, have you been sick in the last 24 hours? No.
No.
Perfectly healthy. Just the Speedway almost killed me. It was your attraction. Anyway.
Sorry, Mike.
Okay, so let's do. All right, knock another one out. Here we go. Don't go anywhere, Facebook. We got another one for you.
We've still got more.
You don't get just one show. We would.
No, you get two.
Right, so Wednesday, now it's Friday. Here we go.
Okay, it's Friday.
Welcome to episode 1369 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. We made it to another weekend, and it's always a good thing. And no better way than to kick off the fun. Hopefully you're having a fun weekend. A lot of us work on the weekends, but hey, let's make the most of it. Let's talk some Disney. Let's have a great time. Let's really break down one of the aspects of Disney trip planning today and talk about planning. It's going to be fun today because I think we're going to get a lot of good feedback on Facebook as to how you look at different parts of your day when you're on your Walt Disney World vacation. So joining me today for this conversation, we have Ricky from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. Ricky, what are you doing on this weekend before we head to Indianapolis? Anything big?
Yes, I actually am having more company in town. My brother is actually coming up, and we are either going to Dollywood or Carowinds. I'm not entirely sure which one he is picking. So, and it's a crazy day because we're going up and down in the same day. So that's a very long day too, but it'll be fun.
Man, that sounds like Dollywood looks a lot of fun. I know they just did a big expansion there, I think.
They've built a new roller coaster, but he's unsure if that roller coaster is running right now. So he knows way more than I do he's a coaster fanatic. So he knows way more about it than I do, which is why we might go to Carowinds instead. So I guess we'll find out, but he does love Dollywood. So I'm not entirely sure which one we're doing just yet. I'm sure I will be surprised when he comes up and he's like, guess what we're doing tomorrow? And I say, okay, let's go. It'll be fun. So if you want to follow me for all the fun of where I'm going this weekend, follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter at Ricky Nibs, and you'll be able to see all the exciting coaster fun.
You know what I love? Like that part of the country is just so gorgeous. Like just like the southeastern United States, like the Tennessee, Valley and stuff is just beautiful. I mean, it's like built right in. Like that's why I've never been to Silver Dollar City down in Branson.
Oh, you need to go there.
My whole life. That's one of my goals. I think I might go down this year because they do a lot of Christmas stuff, and I kind of there. So Yeah, I mean, it's just like, Walt Disney World is very beautiful. And we know that because of how the theming they build up. But a lot of these, little amusement parks around the country just built right into like the natural environment, which I think would be really neat too.
Yeah, it's really cool down in Branson. So you definitely need to hit up Silver Dollar City. But yeah, I'm excited to. I haven't been to either one of them, so I'm excited to actually see, what each one has to offer, depending on which one I go to.
All right, I'll be following along. And again, Pam is not here today. We are going to have her back. I promise. I told
we
you.
Fired her. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't fire her.
Vacationing with a lot of our good friends from the podcast, having a good time. And, they planned this out for quite a long time. It's somebody's big decade birthday bash.
It is.
Say how old, I won't say who it is, but they're having a good time. And she'll be back and we'll be on Indy next weekend and all that good stuff. So we're going to have a good time. But today, I got this idea when I was running this morning. Just doing many, many laps. If you follow me running, I do a lot of laps. And so I have a lot of time to think about stuff. So I was thinking about, what is the most, when you're on a Walt Disney World vacation, you kind of need to look at the day. You can kind of chunk it. When I have a big, project, or when I told my kids, and I would slam them in 6th grade with like a 50 question or, 50 problem homework assignment in math. Yeah, I did that every once. Now you're not allowed to give homework anymore. No, homework. That's why I'm not teaching. But anyway, so back in the day when you're allowed to give homework, I'm not even get into that. Because I thought it built, perseverance and, dexterity. You got to stick with it. You know what? And they say, oh, if you can't do 2 problems right, you can't do 50. What's the point? I'm like, because I had to do it. So that's why I would give it. Anyway.
Because I had to do it.
So anyway, what I like to look at is like, okay, you got a 24-hour day at Walt Disney World. But, if you chunk it, if you break it into chunks and sections, I think, say you're going to the Magic Kingdom for a day. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. My goals really change from morning to afternoon to evening to night. If I chunk it into 4 blocks, really what I'm looking for in that part of the day at the Magic Kingdom or any of the theme parks is a lot different. I have different goals for each part of the day. So I thought we'd kind of have this conversation and talk about, what do you need to think about when it comes to the morning at a theme park, afternoon, evening, and then the night hours, because I think it is really, really different. And, you can really make a successful day if you kind of break it out into like, we want to do this, then, and then gravy, for some of the other things. So Ricky, let's kind of go through this. Okay. So I think obviously we're going to start with the morning. Let's say we're going to the Magic Kingdom. This works for any of the parks, but Magic Kingdom is probably in everybody's mind's eye. So I think, when you're thinking about your goals for the morning, for me, my goal for the morning when I get to the Magic Kingdom is really knock out as many e-ticket attractions as I can. But before that, even, I think the morning time chunk starts the night before. I think for one thing, you want to get there at rope drop. You want to get there before the park opens so that you're one of the first ones in. That gives you such an advantage. But also, I think the night before, this is one of those nights before you can't stay out late because you're going to want to be able to get up very, very early. You're going to want the night before to have all your electronics charged, everything you need, everything ready to just grab and go out the door. This is going to be a morning, I think, if you're going to the Magic Kingdom and you're looking at that morning, you're not thinking about a long breakfast, at least not initially. I'm going to throw something in there. But I think you want to grab a Pop-Tart and get there and get ready to go, be the first in line and knock out. For my morning, I'm thinking knock out e-ticket attractions. What do you say?
Well, I mean, it depends. Is it my traditional kind of morning or is it... because
it doesn't matter because we have different perspectives. Like I'm a person who likes to get as much as I can, but then I take it easy later in the day. Like I get up early. I'm an early riser.
So if you are not like Mike and you are like me, who's a lot more laid back, my goal in the morning is I wake up and I will inevitably find some restaurant that I want to have breakfast in. Now I know this is kind of crazy because why would you waste time for having breakfast? But here's the deal. I don't leave the parks. So I'm the opposite of Mike, whereas I don't take a break in the middle of the day. Once I get to the parks, I'm going hardcore the rest of the time that I'm there. So for me, having that morning time of, okay, let me grab a nice meal. I'll usually make a reservation at a restaurant that has breakfast so I can have a full breakfast and enjoy, just sit there and actually eat, a solid meal to start my day. And then I will go into the park because I know I'm not leaving. So that's kind of like, I know it's the complete opposite of what, normal people would do. But I'm kind of more of the relaxation kind of Disney vacation at this point. So, I still, don't get me wrong, I still get to do the majority of the things that I want to do by doing this. It's just, it's a little different than, you know, how Mike does it, because I don't take an afternoon break.
Yeah, and this is what I like, because I do take an afternoon break, and I like this is going to be a good conversation because people vacation so many different ways, and we're way different, and
We are.
give people different perspectives. So I'm there, you know, like waiting at least 30 minutes before the park opens. I've had a Pop-Tart or like a Rice Krispie treat, something that's going to sustain me. My goal isn't to have like my belly full and be good for the afternoon. I'm looking to get to like 10:30. Okay, so that's, and if I don't want to grab a Pop-Tart or something in the room, if I don't bring anything like that, I'm not stopping at the food court. I'm going to run in somewhere like Gaston's Tavern and grab, that's one of my new kind of go-tos, get the big cinnamon roll and a soda, like a Coke Zero, and I'm good. And I keep moving. So the thing is, in the mornings, if you get there early, you can knock out things like Space Mountain Splash, Big Thunder. You could do Pirates. You could do Seven Dwarves if you want to, whatever. If you're at the if you're over at the studios, Slinky Dog, you could probably get 3 rides in at Rope Drop in the first hour, if that's what you're focusing on. You could do, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Toy Story. You can get all the e-tickets done in that first hour. It's so critical. Now, here's something to think about for the morning chunk. If you're like me and you want to knock out as many e-tickets as you can early, which is what I do, if I'm at the Magic Kingdom, I will schedule an ADR. If I want to do a nice breakfast, like you said, a nice breakfast, I like that idea. But I've been known to schedule a breakfast at like 10:30 towards the tail end of like a Chef Mickey's or an Ohana breakfast with Stitch and Lilo and Stitch and Mickey over at the Polynesian. Because here's the thing. I'll just eat that Pop-Tart or whatever quickly, the cinnamon roll, that stuff is like, it's all sugar. So it burns off really quick. And then you're starving because you've been running around the Magic Kingdom like a madman for like 2 or 3 hours and you've done a ton of attractions. You're like, yes. So then you'll go have a character meal on the tail end. And it's like a great morning because then you're kind of resting, you're getting a good meal, but you've already done a ton of attractions. You're way ahead of the game. I've done that many times. Ricky, what do you say to that?
So I will also take I will also get my breakfast at about 10 o'clock. So just, we're at least having breakfast at the same time, but I have slept in the night before because I will traditionally stay up and stay in the park as late as I possibly can. So again, that's kind of the difference is you're leaving probably a little bit earlier than I am. I'm like, as until they kick me out, I'm in the park at the end of the night. So, that's why I do tend to sleep in a little bit in the morning because I've been out, having fun all night. So, my breakfast is usually around 10 o'clock in the morning as well. And then I will make sure that I have pre the vacation, I will make sure that I have my fast passes set up now. This kind of goes into the afternoon, but I have my fast passes set up usually starting, it depends on what time I think we're going to get done with breakfast and how much I can get my family going. But usually I will start having my first fast pass reservation for about, I would say 12, hit the 12, 1, 2 time period. That's usually when I make my fast passes for. So then I can start using that rolling 4th fast pass and start, making additional fast passes throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. So I in that late morning time, that's actually when I am having that breakfast and getting ready to head to the park. So
Nick
totally
here's Nick's. He's kind of playing along with this. Usually eats breakfast on the way to the bus stop, do rope drop. They usually head back early afternoon for a nap and go back for our dinner reservation and shoot for the closing. That's going to be kind of what I do typically. Ricky mentioned she hangs her fast passes typically around early afternoon, kind of late morning ish. I will say that most times I put mine in the evening, and I'll get to that later. Okay, so mornings are kind of filled up. Okay, so that's how we break down the mornings. Let's talk afternoons. My afternoon is kind of like what Nick just said. I'll stay in the park until usually about, the thing is you got to watch it because if you stay too late in the park, I've learned this. If I hang too late, like say I want to see Festival of Fantasy. Well, then if I go back for a break, I don't have much time for a break. And then it really cuts away at my evening, which I love evenings in the park. So I'll tend to try to leave by like 1 or 2 and get back to the hotel for like a 2 or 3 hour break, take a nap, swim, whatever it is. But the thing is, when it starts getting crowded, say around 10:30 or 11, and it starts getting hotter in the summertime or most times of the year, that's when I go away from e-ticket. Again, I don't have my fast passes at this time. I move away from e-ticket attractions that say 10 to 1 as it's getting more crowded. I start shifting my idea towards the lesser, the fun attractions, but lesser known attractions like
Mhm.
Carousel of Progress, TTA. I'll go on a Pirates. I might hit a Haunted Mansion if it's not too crazy. That's when I might go to Tom Sawyer Island at the Magic Kingdom. You got to kind of look at the lower tiered attractions that eat a lot of people. Hall of Presidents. That's the time to get in the air conditioning and go into the big volume attractions. What do you say to that, Ricky?
You hit the nail on the head. That's almost exactly what I do. So I set up my fast passes for, like I said, that 12, 1, 2, maybe 3 o'clock time period. And then I will fill them in with those other attractions that maybe you don't necessarily need a fast pass for. So, Country Bear, I'll do that. Like you said, Tom Sawyer Island, I can go hang out on Tom Sawyer Island and just relax. Because again, I'm relaxing. So I'm just chilling while I'm on Tom Sawyer Island. I would do, the TTA or the TTA. I would do, like you said, Carousel of Progress. So I'll do a lot of those attractions that maybe doesn't have a wait for them, and to fill in some of the while I'm waiting for to use my fast passes as well. I also don't jump around lands very much, so I will kind of go in order of the whatever direction I start. Now I'm left-handed, so usually I start going towards Adventureland, and then I kind of go sequentially that way, unless I have like a fast pass. And then once I start playing the fast pass game with that fourth rolling fast pass, then I will jump around a little bit more, but at least to start with, I go one direction or the other and kind of start that way. And then once I've used that third fast pass, I will start getting on the My Disney Experience app and start looking for the next fast pass that I can get. And at parks like the Magic Kingdom, I usually have obviously much better luck because there's a bigger pool to choose from. So I can usually book another fast pass almost immediately after, and get on something that I would need a fast pass for. And then that way I'm still constantly going. Now at Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom, it's a little bit more difficult. Not totally. I do have actually very good luck of, making that next fast pass for that next attraction, within, about a half hour to maybe an hour. So it's not like I'm usually waiting for a very long time. But I will actually be able to do that, and then I can get on the next attraction. Also, like you mentioned, shows are extremely important to see during that time, that afternoon time period. Again, partially because the shows, they really do stop in the evening. So if you're wanting to see something like Festival of the Lion King or Finding Nemo the Musical or Beauty and the Beast live on stage, or any of those, they're not playing it anytime after, like, I want to say 5 o'clock or something like that. So if you are into seeing the shows, you absolutely need to make sure you see them. And really, it's only in the afternoon that those shows play. I mean, they might have a show starting at like 10 o'clock in the morning as their first show, but then they end at 5. So it really is a short window of time that you can see some of these shows in. So make sure that if you do want to see shows, and most of them are air conditioned, so that's a nice little perk too. You're going to be cool, especially in the summer months, or in the winter, they are heated, so you won't be cold. So that's something to keep in mind, as well as make sure you see those shows in the middle of the afternoon and have them in your plan.
That is huge too. And I'll say, you know what, because especially a place like Animal Kingdom where you have Finding Nemo the musical, you got Festival of the Lion King, there's been years that I've gone without seeing those because we tend to leave the park at around 1. And there's usually a lot of shows before that, and by the time we get back, they're done for the day. I will say that this is a good way to kind of modify my plan, is that if we want to have a day where, say, we stay out really late the night, the Magic Kingdom's open until 1 or 2 with extra magic hours, and we stay, we're going to be crazy and stay late. That might be a park to go to the next day, because we could do a late arrival and, get there, say at 11, and know that our goal that day is going to be, hang some fast passes, maybe that afternoon, go see some shows, and just, kind of not do it the way I'm saying today, like I would do a Magic Kingdom day or whatever. That's a late arrival day, kind of like you said, and enjoy the shows, because you're getting out of the heat, you're seeing the shows. And the thing is, I think a lot of us get into this rut where we're like, oh man, do I want to go into a show that lasts 40 minutes or 30 minutes and you got to stand outside? Like, that's a big chunk of time. And I'm not like doing rides, I'm not riding Everest. I'm not going on Dinosaur. I'm not doing this Flight of Passage, whatever. But the thing is, every time I walk out of a thing, like when we did this summer, no kidding, Pam turned to me and said, man, that is a great show. And we just don't go to this enough. Like, we love Festival of the Lion King. Like, it's a great show. Same for Finding Nemo the musical. But the thing is, we just tend to avoid it. Not because we, want to avoid it. It just doesn't fit into our schedule many times. So that's a good point with the afternoons.
Absolutely. And there's another thing to know about the shows is they do take a lunch. So they usually don't have a show around like that 1:30 to 2 o'clock time period. So you may have a show that starts at 1 and then not have another show that starts until 3. So that's something to keep in mind as well, is they often take a lunch break in the middle of the afternoon too. So in addition to having the truncated hours of show times, you also have that prime window where I would usually be ready to see a show where they don't have a show. So that's kind of a bummer, but I understand they got to eat lunch.
They got to love the Hall of Presidents actors. You know what? They do not even take a lunch break. They just like, we're just chugging them. We'll catch up with all of our meals at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll be good. They close
Absolutely. They're there till the park closes.
That's right. Yep. Well, they close before the park closes. They go out. I think they all get together and go out to dinner.
They might.
That's what I think in my head. Okay, so and I think I've got some Kingdom Keepers in me or something today. Who knows? So that's kind of the afternoon. The afternoons. Here's what you're missing when you do my plan and go back. You're missing those, like we said with the shows. You're missing that. You're missing the afternoon parade at the Magic Kingdom Festival of Fantasy. I sometimes I miss that because the sacrifice is I want to be fresh for the evening, so I miss that parade. But it's a good parade, so that's one of those things. Ricky, you power on. So
I do.
You find though, you just kind of slow down and see. And again, my fast passes are for the evening. That's one of the advantages for your way is that you get that rolling fast pass and you take advantage of that. But you're kind of in the second, third tier attractions during the afternoon, right?
I absolutely do take advantage of that rolling fast pass. And, you'd be surprised, but I can get rolling fast passes usually for even some of the bigger attractions too during that time period. It just kind of depends on what's popping up for me. So, when people are leaving the park and they're like, oh, you know what, I can't make this ride. I'll just let the fast pass go. That's when I, swoop in and take that fast pass from that person. So thank you for releasing the fast pass to me, because it's much appreciated, and because I'm staying in the park. So I hope you enjoy your break, and I'm going to go ride your ride now. Thank you.
All right, so let's talk evening. So we have evening and nighttime to go. We'll say evening is say around 5 o'clock until maybe 9 o'clock. Okay, so evening, supper time. And that's kind of my focus is usually I'll hop to a different park because we have annual passes. So we usually have a park, we always have the park hopper. So we usually go to a different park, and the park we hop to is where we have an ADR for dinner. Typically our ADR is at dinner. So we'll go to that park right at dinner time. We usually schedule it for around 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I eat early. I get up early. So it doesn't matter.
Man.
You're on vacation. You're always, I am, but you're snacking all the time. So it's not that big a deal, but we'll hop to the park where we're having dinner, and we'll have dinner as soon as we get to the park. So then we'll have our bellies full. We'll have a good meal, fun experience there. Then during the night, we just kind of fill in. But again, like I said, that's where my fast passes are. So maybe sometimes I'll do a fast pass, say at 4:30, dinner at 5:30, and then 2 fast passes after. And then that's kind of just that night is just so awesome because you got a good meal that you're looking forward to. You're not waiting in line. You got fast pass experiences in your pocket. And then you just go from there. So that's kind of my evenings in the parks. I go where I'm eating, and I'll hang a fast pass, maybe 1 before dinner, 2 after, some kind of combination of that. And it just makes for a great evening no matter what park we're at.
Mm-hmm. So for me, a lot of times I will make an ADR for dinner, but not all the time. I mean, it just kind of depends. Since we didn't maybe have lunch. Sometimes we do have a quick lunch, but if we do, it'll, we're the weirdos who are eating lunch at 3 o'clock. So, because we had breakfast at 10, so we're eating, lunch at around 2 to 3, which is great for us because then we're missing the crowds, right? So that part's wonderful. So then we usually have dinner a little bit later though too. So and that's traditional for our life too. We'll tend to have dinner about 7 o'clock. And for us, 7 o'clock is early actually here at home, but yeah.
I'm dead by then. I'm dying.
So we'd have dinner about 7 o'clock or so. And traditionally, if we do have a table service restaurant, like I said, we don't usually park hop a whole lot. Every once in a while, I'll park hop if, say, there's something I need to get, and this is specific for me. If there's something I need to get content for that I need to maybe do in the evening or something like that, maybe I'll park hop to that park for whatever, if I don't plan on being there in the evening, I will park hop to that park. But for the most part, I tend to stay in the same park all day, which is weird because I like the freedom of having the park hopper, which I get with the annual pass, but I don't necessarily use it a lot. So I tend to then stay in that park. If I'm going to we usually do a table service dinner, I will do it in that park that I'm in, or I will do it at a resort that's close nearby. So, if I'm at Animal Kingdom Lodge, I may have, dinner at Sanaa, or if I'm at, the Magic Kingdom, I may head to Kona, or if I or Whispering Canyon, or something like that. So I tend to stay in that general vicinity of where I'm at. That way I can get back to the park that I was in relatively quickly. But most of the time it would be a meal probably in that park that we're doing. And if we're not doing a table service meal, we will do a quick service meal, but it would be a more hearty quick service meal. So it would be something like, a Flame Tree Barbecue at Animal Kingdom, or, a Pecos Bill at the Magic Kingdom, where we know we're eating a really good solid meal, instead of, because I personally don't like burgers and I don't like French fries that much. So especially like the thick, although Disney has the thinner French fries now, which actually are quite delicious, but I don't traditionally like the burger and fry thing. So I like something that's, a little more meaty and substantial. And so I tend to be the problem in our family, because Brian could eat burgers all day. He would be happy going to Cosmic Rays and be like, burger, that's it. So.
No, I will say, kind of getting back to the meal planning, we don't do the character meal like late breakfast thing every day. We'll do it maybe once or twice during the trip. Typically, I will have like a cinnamon roll, like a Pop-Tart, something for breakfast quick in the morning, and then we'll eat lunch on the way out of the park. So we'll sit down at a Columbia Harbor House, or like you said, a Pecos Bills, grab lunch at say 12:30, and then once we're done with lunch, we're out. That's when we start, whatever it is. We have a counter service lunch because we know we're gonna have a big dinner ADR that night. Usually, that's kind of usually how it falls.
Right.
Okay, so that is our evening. We have our dinner. I have my ADRs. You're kind of filling in.
I'm still filling in. Yeah, I'm still playing the Fast Pass game and riding attractions that are starting, because now it's getting to be nighttime where people are going to dinner. So the attractions are starting to get less and less of a long wait time, which is very nice for me.
Okay, so let's talk nighttime. Okay, so it's getting dark, depending on what time of the year it is. Let's say from 8 to park closing. Let's say, maybe the park closes at midnight. We're talking summertime. Of course, it's going to vary during different times of the year. September, it'll close earlier, obviously, as the year goes on. This is for me, just like, I always focus on seeing the fireworks, whether it's illuminations, happily ever after. I like to see those. I know you don't tend to stop for those all the time. I usually do. But I will say that now, how do you feel? Do you go to the evening park with extra magic hours? Because sometimes you're off site. So that's your problem there.
So I honestly half the time don't even pay attention to the extra magic hour schedule at this point. And most of the time I think I just by pure dumb luck avoid, like, the park that I'm at doesn't have extra magic hours that night usually, so I'm not actually looking for it. But yeah, I mean, if I was looking, I would avoid the park that has extra magic hours, just because I do stay off site. I'm not getting extra magic hours, so I know that park is going to be a little more crowded towards the evening. It's not going to empty out as much as the other parks, that don't have extra magic hours will. So, that impacts, obviously, how I said, most people will start leaving for dinner. If there's an extra magic hours night, that bump in, or that reduction in wait times doesn't really exist. So yeah, I would probably look for the extra magic hours if I was actually paying attention.
Like I will avoid the studio's extra magic hours in the evening at all costs, because like it's kind of a rookie move.
That's
like
true.
Because it's advertised
right now.
Well, even 5 years ago, like this, what happened was I go there and there's just not a lot happening for as many, like that park, when it gets crowded, it feels crowded.
It does.
Especially in the summer at night when you get the extra people, because I think it's a rookie move. I mean, I did it a couple times before I realized, like, wow, I'm coming here and like everybody, because it is fun to stay out late. And I think a lot of people like taking advantage of evening extra magic hours, but the studios didn't have, because all the shows are done. You know what I'm saying? So you got like Rock and Roller Coaster, Toy Story. Now you have Toy Story Land, so you got Slinky Dog and you got Alien Swirling Saucers, Star Tours, but you don't have much beyond that. You know,
no.
That's not very much for as many people as descend on that park for an evening extra magic hour.
Absolutely, 100%. It will get a little bit better when Star Wars Land officially opens, but you're only adding an extra 2 attractions at that point too, so it's still not going to get that much better when you think about it. So it's Hollywood Studios is a tough park to do extra magic hours in. I absolutely agree with you, especially in the evening.
Evening for me too is just like, it's kind of gravy. Like I've now had my ADR for the day. I've used my fast passes, so I'll try to use rolling ones, but a lot of times you don't need to as you get moving on into the night. Like a couple.
I still use them.
Yeah, exactly. I do too, where I get them. But the thing is, like, I love nights in the parks, whether it's Magic Kingdom when I'm there, it's more of like, let's see how many attractions we can get in like in this 3 hours. Cause we'll like maybe do a Monsters Inc. laugh floor because, like I don't typically do that, but for some reason, I think it's more funny at night, like late.
Probably.
I don't know why, but that's when I always go to that.
Maybe
that
you're delirious from being up all day and running and eating and
Maybe that's what I do. But I will say, it's just like some of my favorite memories of my Disney trips is like a late at night at the Magic Kingdom, just running around, like going from Astro Orbiter to Space Mountain because the wait times are now shorter.
right.
And, running over and even doing Tomorrowland Speedway. I know it's nuts, but because we're there and there's not a long line, we'll just hit it teacups. I don't even like teacups, but I'll do those. Winnie the Pooh, whatever, just running through and seeing what's available. Just, like you don't go past it. You just ride it because the wait time's short.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what the theme park experience should be like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really where you're like, oh, it's a short line. Let's do it. It's 11:30 at night. It's 12:30 in the morning. Who cares? You're having a good time. And that's what I love in the parks. That's kind of my nighttime in the parks.
Yeah, in the Magic Kingdom it's a lot easier to do that too, obviously, because that's one of the parks that stays open the latest. Although lately Animal Kingdom is, since they've opened Pandora, I've been looking at the wait time or the park hours, and they're not closing until like 11 now, and I'm sitting here going, wow, remember when they closed at 5? So I think Animal Kingdom is also a really good park to visit when it is late at night like that, because you are able to get on a bunch of attractions at that park in the later evening hours, because everybody has left. Again, I think for that park they've left, or they're in Pandora, one of the two. So the rest of the attractions are open. So I tend to find lower wait times, and I personally like Animal Kingdom way better at night than I do during the day. So I like it during the day, it's fine, but at night is really my favorite time to be in Animal Kingdom too. So I will often plan a trip where if I do park hop, I will go to Animal Kingdom in the evening. But for the rest of the parks, I do find it a little, obviously a little more difficult at, say, Epcot, because Epcot does have illuminations at 9. It's a hard, fast close at 9. That park is closing at 9 more than likely. There's, once Illuminations is over, it's done. So, that's kind of a bummer for Epcot, is that the park isn't open after the evening fireworks. Whereas I think for the most part, all the other parks have hours that, are a little bit open after the nighttime festivities. So that's something that's kind of a bummer as well. Although I'm not sure about the fireworks at Hollywood Studios. I don't know if sometimes I think that one's a little iffy. I think, it kind of depends on the night, to be perfectly honest there. But yeah, I mean, me, I don't see the fireworks shows usually. I will see Illuminations because it's the last thing, like I said, that's the end. So I don't have anything else to do. Might as well catch Illuminations, which is terrible because I love Illuminations. I'm not like discounting Illuminations at all, but it is one of those things where it's like, okay, I can watch Illuminations. There's nothing else for me to do except leave, so I'll gladly watch Illuminations. But the Magic Kingdom fireworks, Happily Ever After, I've seen them now. I don't stop. I will continue to tour the park. I do suggest, if you haven't seen Happily Ever After, you absolutely see it though. So don't do what I do. Go see Happily Ever After if you haven't done it. Personally, I don't hate Rivers of Light. I don't mind it. So I will, if I'm walking past and I see the show's about to start, I will go in and watch that. I love the Awakening though, the show on the Tree of Life. And what's nice about that show is that it takes place every 5 minutes, so you see a different show. And then for Hollywood Studios, I don't see Fantasmic. There was a time when I hadn't seen Fantasmic for about 10 years. And then when my brother started working at Fantasmic, I was like, okay, I'll go back over there and see Fantasmic. But I really have no desire to see Fantasmic on a normal basis. I think the show's fine. I think if you haven't seen it before, or if it's something that you really love, absolutely go see Fantasmic. It's not a not to be missed show for me, but it's it's a show that you should see if you haven't seen it. And then I do like the Star Wars fireworks, but again, I feel for me personally, Star Wars isn't something that I'm obviously in love with. I've seen the movies, but it's not something that I'm like drooling over. So I don't really care if I see the fireworks or don't see the fireworks. So I'll, if I want to see them and I, see that the show is starting in about 10, 15 minutes, I'll stop. I'll see the Disney Movie Magic Show, which I think is a fantastic show, far superior to the Star Wars show. So I'll stop and see that. I know, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible human being. So I'll stop and see that show if it's about ready to show, and then I'll maybe stay for the fireworks for Star Wars. But I mean, I'm not like looking at my watch going, okay, those Star Wars fireworks are starting in 15 minutes. Let's get to our spot. That's not me. Or 30 minutes. Let's get to our spot. So, that's just not me. I'm just not a fireworks. I'm not a nighttime show person. I'm terrible.
2 points on your evening at the studios. One, I love Fantasmic. I love the show, but it's a lot of work. Like, it is just a lot of work. You got to walk forever to get back to the theater.
Oh, yeah.
They herd you in there, and it's hard to get out. Like,
yes,
it's a great show, but you got to invest a lot of time and work to see that show. And the Star Wars fireworks. Oh my gosh! Every time
I knew I'd get some flack for that one.
When Han, I was just thinking about it. I was about to tear up when he says, "True." Oh, I'm like, it's hitting me in the feels. I love Star Wars. So yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan,
if you're a Star Wars fan, don't miss the Star Wars fireworks. I will admit they are really cool. But personally, for me, it's could take it or leave it. That's just me, though. I don't really care about Star Wars.
So last thing I will say, though, kind of wrapping up, I think it was kind of fun exercise. Kind of think about the different sections of the day. The morning, the afternoon, the evening, and the night, because I think you kind of have different goals. Like
clearly, the two of us have very different goals in it, but it's true.
There's probably 20 other ways to think about it, but I think it's kind of falls into maybe, some major categories. But I will say, especially at the Magic Kingdom, when you see the fireworks, you see Happily Ever After, which I totally agree. It's really won me over. That is a great cap to a day at the Magic Kingdom. It's awesome. And get a good spot at least once in your trip. But I will say there's something about that. Like, you make a good point between Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. When those fireworks end and you say you have 2 hours till the park closes, the fireworks are at 9 and the park closes at 11. Like, that is just like, okay,
that's the best 2 hours ever. Let's go.
But it's just,
it really is. It is the best because everybody else is leaving and you're still like, there's 2 hours left. I'm not going anywhere. I'm having fun.
It's like it's a Tuesday at 10:30 at night.
I would be in bed at 11 o'clock at night normally on a Tuesday at night.
Yeah, but I'm going to get an ice cream and I'm going to ride 17 rides between now. I'm going to try to at least. Yeah, there's something to be said for that. So I think, there's like that giddy anticipation in the morning of like, it's a fresh day, you're not sweaty. You're like ready to go. You're ready to get pictures with PhotoPass photographers. You're knocking out e-ticket attractions in the morning. 10:30 that night, you might be in a different park and you're just you're just going like a madman. You're sweaty. You're hot. You probably had, 7,000 calories that day. Who cares? You're having a blast. I think that every part of the day is great in its own way. But I think if you think about like, what are my goals for this section of the day? I think you can really make your day better.
100%. I really wish that Epcot would stay open for an extra couple hours after the park, the fireworks. That would be so awesome. And maybe, when they do have all the new stuff with Ratatouille and the new Guardians of the Galaxy attraction and all that, maybe they will start to stay open a little bit later. And of course, they're going to have a new fireworks show that is definitely more than likely happening. So, I think there are going to be some changes to Epcot, and maybe we'll get the park hours will change as we continue and move forward with Epcot. I can only hope.
All right. Well, that's how we break down a Disney day, but drop by Facebook.com/BRGuestPodcast.
Tell me how wrong I am about my day because but I still get stuff done.
That's it. I totally agree.
I still get stuff done.
Really, I said this was teaching, but there's really on this one, not a right or wrong answer. It's just how you go about it and what your goals are in your day. Some people don't want to go at breakneck speed. And I think this, mine's kind of a balance. I think it's both, but I just, give us some feedback, especially on today's show. We'd love it over at Facebook.com/BRGuestPodcast. I love because I pick up stuff from our listeners so many times. My trip's better, and I think it'll help all of us. So just drop by this weekend when you got a chance and just give us a little feedback on that. We'll put a thread up. And don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We've been saying it for years. They're a great sponsor. You guys are so great and support the folks over at the Magic for Less. And like I said at the ad read at the top of the show, still lots of time to go down for Halloween, Christmas, Food and Wine Festival. You got the Run Disney events, the Wine and Dine Race weekend. That one's kind of getting tight with inventory. But so many great times ago. You got slow seasons, even September. You can still get down there when there's not a huge crowd. It's never empty, but less crowds than most times. So just drop by themagicforless.com, fill out that free no obligation quote, and an agent will get back to you right away. And maybe that next trip is in 2018 and you can get down there for the holidays, food and wine, have some good food, drinks, all kinds of stuff. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please do continue to support the show with your Amazon purchases. Again, it's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. If you don't want to go to Walmart, Target, or Costco for the school supplies, smart. Get them all delivered to your house. Just go to brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Give us a follow on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at brguestmike and at brguestpod. And again, facebook.com/BOurGuestPodcast. All right, well, it's time to get out of here and let's get on with your weekend. Thank you so much for always downloading the show. If you wouldn't mind this weekend, when you're dropping by Facebook, we'd love a review on iTunes and Stitcher. If you get a few minutes, that'd mean a lot to us. Please give us a review over on iTunes and Stitcher. That would help a lot. And thank you to everybody who has done that over the past 10 years. Those things do expire after a while. It's the only thing about being on having a show that's over a decade old. Some of these things have expired at this point. So if you could give us another review, we'd really appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to let you get out of here.
Give us another one now. Yes.
Seriously, it's been a lot different over, 1,300 shows later. But we're going to let you get out here and have a great weekend. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike. Wish you an awesome weekend. Whatever you do, please do stay safe. And we'll see you real soon. All right, that was a good one. Good stuff. Thanks, Facebook. You guys were awesome.
Yay. Y'all always come up with great questions.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good show. That was kind of fun just to talk about. And I do love nights, man. Nights are awesome.
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing better. All right, well, you have a good dinner with your family.
Thank you. I will. And you have a nice evening as well. Enjoy the Taco Bell. My dinner is much better, by the way. I'm just saying.
Debatable. We'll see.
No,
all
it's
right.
not.
Tell Brian I said hey.
I will. All right. Have a good night, guys. See you later.
Thanks for being here. Bye.